When I say public transit, I bet you think of a public organization that runs buses, right? But that's not exactly how it works in much of BC. And some transit users on Vancouver Island say problems they're facing right now could be solved by going fully public. Let's start with the issues. In the Cowichan Valley, bus and handy-dart drivers have been on strike since early February. And in Greater Victoria, people who use handy-dart are struggling to get rides when they need them, rides they say they used to get with no issues. But who's at the center of this? There's BC Transit, of course. It's the provincial crown corporation responsible for public transit outside of Metro Vancouver. But there's also Transdev. It's a private company based in France. It's one of 18 companies that BC Transit contracts out to run bus service in communities across the province. Transdev runs bus and handy-dart services in the Cowichan Valley, as well as handy-dart services in Greater Victoria. It also runs transit in Central Fraser Valley, Chilliwack, Kamloops, Kelowna, North Okanagan, Shuswap, and Vernon. BC Transit and local governments determine routes, schedules, and fares, and then companies like Transdev are responsible for hiring and managing staff and getting the buses running those routes. Some people say the fact that it's for-profit and not locally based is at the root of the struggles here on the island.
I think that BC Transit would have a better idea about what is going on. They are an arm's reach operation. No one uses the system there, as far as I know. So they just get a report, and I don't think that there would be the amount of miscommunications. They would know about problems sooner. So yeah, I think that having it separate doesn't make any sense to me, especially considering the population.
The union representing bus and handy-dart workers in the Cowichan Valley argued they'd be able to negotiate better wages if they were bargaining directly with BC Transit, the crown corporation responsible for public transit outside the Lower Mainland.
I'd like to think that with public transit as a pillar to our mobility rights and our charter of rights, that a crown corporation would take fair and free collective bargaining a lot more serious, and I would like to think that they wouldn't have let the picket happen in the first place.
Neither Transdev, BC Transit, nor the Transportation Minister would speak on camera about this. BC Transit told me in a statement that this public-private system has been in place since 1979 and said it's the, quote, most appropriate model for regional transit. The BC NDP has promised to review all private BC Transit systems as part of its most recent election platform and said it would bring handy-dart into government and out of private operation. The province says it has started that process by asking TransLink to assess how handy-dart is run in Metro Vancouver. It is also operated by Transdev. It's not clear when any decisions will be made. Kathryn, Marlow, CBC News, at a bus stop in Victoria.